We are studying Unit 11. The title is On the Move, and we're going to start now Lesson A. Do you like traveling? Do you travel a lot? Which means of transportation do you use the most when you travel? And when you go to school, which of these ones do you prefer? We're talking about transportation. And take a look at the pictures. Can you see the forms of transportation here? Let's identify them. Letter A. Which is this means of transportation? Can you see? It's a bus. In letter B, this is a subway or train. In letter C, we use this transportation to cross the river. We use the boat. Here in Amazonas, this is a very popular means of transportation. So you can use boat or a ferry boat. Ferry boat means balsa. We use to cross long distance in rivers, right? And letter D, this is a car, but it's a car that we use to take us to another place. That's a taxi or a cab, right? It's very common today to use Uber, 99 cars. These are taxis, cabs, right? So the photos show traveling by bus, train, or a subway, boat, ferry boat, and taxi or cab. How do you usually travel to places like home, school, supermarket? Do you take a cab? Do you take a taxi? Do you go by bus? I always go to my work, to Colégio Militar, by bus. How about you? How do you go to Colégio Militar?
1. By car. 2. By van. 3. By subway. 4. By train. 5. By ship. 6. By taxi. 7. By bike. 8. On foot. 9. By motorcycle. 10. By helicopter. 11. By scooter. 12. By streetcar. 13. By bus. 14. By boat. 15. By bus. 16. By ferry. 17. By plane. 18. By truck.
When I travel from Manaus to Ceará, Fortaleza, I always travel by plane. But when I travel around here in Amazonas, in the countryside, I always take a boat. I travel by ferry boat to cross the river, all right? To go to work, I always take the bus or sometimes I take a taxi. Now let's pay attention to the text here, and it is the introduction, right? And you're going to pay attention to some words that you're going to complete the three definitions here in number one. A verb that means to travel to work. In number two, it's a noun that it means the trip to work. And number three, it's another noun that means people who are traveling to work. So take a look at the text. The word schools commutes. Do you have a long trip to work? Do you have to sit in traffic for hours or slide with thousands of other commuters for a place on the subway? It doesn't have to be stressful to commute. Here are three of the words schools commutes. So what is Number 1. Which verb here in the text means to travel to work? Let's check. So, the answer is commute. It doesn't have to be stressful to commute. It doesn't have to be stressful to travel to work. When you go to work, when you travel to work, you commute. In case of students, the same way when you go to school, you commute. It's the same way to travel to school, to go to school, to commute. It's the verb, the action, right? Number 2, the trip to work. It is the commute. Alright, commute can be the verb and the noun. So the word schools commutes. The word schools trips to work. So here we have the sentence. In the last part of the text, we have, here are 3 of the word schools commutes. So that's number 2. And number 3, which is the noun that means people who are traveling to work. Let's check. The answer is commuters. So, people who are traveling to work or students who are going to school, they are commuters. Every person, everyone who is going to work, going to school, going wherever they are going to, they are commuters, right? And the action is to commute. Alright? Let's go ahead reading the rest of the text. Which forms of transportation does the text mention? Let's pay attention. So take a look at the answers. Which forms of transportation do they mention here in the 3 texts here? In the first one, they go by plane. So every day they spend 9 minutes on a plane. In the second paragraph, people here go to work by bike. Can you see the picture? And the last one, take a look at the means of transportation from the photo. It's a boat. So the co-workers here drive by boat, by a ferry boat. So you can say ferry, ferry boat, or boat. The means of transportation that people use to travel across a lake, a river, it is the boat or ferry boat, right? When we talk about obligation or things that are necessary to do, we use the verb have to. Have to or has to for he, she, it. We use to say about that thing is necessary. It is an obligation to do. The grammar topic is the verb have to in the negative, don't have to. We use have to or has to for he, she, it to say that something is necessary. Examples. We have to go there by plane. So that is a necessity. That is an obligation to do that, right? She has to drive to work. She has a necessity. She has a necessity to do that, right? Question. Do you have to take the train to work? So I'm asking about if it is necessary to take the train to work. If you have to. In the negative form, we use don't have to or doesn't have to for he, she, it to say that something isn't necessary, that you don't have the obligation to do that you don't have the necessity to do that, right? Examples. You don't have to go to work by car. It doesn't have to be stressful to commute. So this is about something that is necessary or not. We use have to or don't have to. Remember, we use have to plus the base form of a verb to say that something is necessary. Examples. We have to wear a uniform in school, so we have the necessity to do that. I have to go to work by bus. My brother has to get up at 5:30 every morning. Donna has to call her parents every night. In the negative form, remember we use don't have to plus the basic form to say that something isn't necessary, right? Examples. I don't have to work on Mondays. They don't have to study today. It's Sunday. Carlota doesn't have to buy a new computer. She got one for her birthday. Simon doesn't have to cook dinner tonight. He's at a restaurant. Remember, we use have to or don't have to for situations in the present and in the future. Examples. I have to wear a uniform at work. Present situation. I don't have to get up early tomorrow. Future situation. So pay attention to the examples.
I have to work tomorrow. Jack has to take the train to work. I don't have to work on Sunday. He doesn't have to start work at 7:30. Do you have to take the train today? Does he have to wear a uniform? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't.
Pay attention to the pronunciation of have to and has to. Let's listen.
I don't have to go by boat.
2,
Do you have to work today?
3,
He has to go by bike.
4,
She has to get up early.
1,
You have to go to work by subway.
2,
We don't have to work today.
3,
She has to wear a uniform.
4,
He doesn't have to go to school on Sundays.
5,
Do you have to go home by bus?
6.
Does she have to drive to work?
We're talking about the use of have to and don't have to for the negative, has to or doesn't have to for he, she, it. Remember, we are talking about something that is necessary or not, something that is an obligation or something that you don't have the obligation to do. So look at the signs and let's complete the sentences using the verbs from the box. The verbs pay, turn off, and leave. Use these verbs with the verb have to and don't have to in the negative form, right? So, which is the answer for numbers 1, 2, and 3? We have a sign of a cell phone, and then we have free entry and dogs welcome. Complete the sentences by using have to or don't have to. 1. You have to turn off your phone. Number 2. You don't have to pay to go in. Number 3. You don't have to leave your dog outside. So, in picture number 1, cell phone is not permitted, it's not allowed to be used. So you have to turn off. It's necessary. You have an obligation to turn off your phone. In number 2, the entry is free. So you don't have a necessity. It's not necessary to pay to go in, right? And picture number 3, dogs are welcome. So you don't have to leave your dog outside. So it's not necessary to leave your dog out of the place. You see? Outside. Pay attention to pictures A, B, and C. Using the verb Have to. In the negative, don't have to. Pay attention to the ideas of each picture. The traffic light here indicates the color in red, so you have to stop. It's necessary to stop. You have the obligation to stop, right? In picture B, you have to turn left, you see? And letter C, you don't have the necessity to bring presents. Here, can you see? Sarah's 30th birthday party and no presents, so it's not necessary to bring presents. You don't have to bring presents, all right? So let's start Unit 11, Lesson C. Take a look at these pictures. Do you know how to name them? We have beach, mountain, campsite, sightseeing, pool, castle, and gift. Let's check the answers. The first picture is a gift, a present. The second one is the mountain. The third one is the beach. This one is a castle. In the middle we have the sightseeing, when you look around the sights, when you look around the attractions in the city, sightseeing. You go sightseeing Manaus when you visit the theater and the most important tourist attractions, right? Then we have the campsite with the tents in the middle of the forest here and a pool, right? Now let's do this exercise. You're gonna match the sentences with the pictures. We have 12 sentences and you're going to match the sentences with the pictures, right? Listen.
They're going sightseeing. F. 2. She's going surfing. I. 3. They're going to the beach. E. 4. They're going to the mountains. H. 5. She's going hiking. G. 6. She's relaxing on the beach. K. 7. He's relaxing by the pool. L. 8. They're staying at a hotel. A. 9. She's staying at an apartment. C. 10. They're staying at a campsite. J. 11. She's staying with friends. D. 12. They're visiting a museum. They're visiting an art gallery. B.
So here are the answers about the vacation activities. Number 1, letter F. Number 2, letter I. Number 3, letter E. 4, letter H. 5, letter G. 6, letter K. 7, letter L. 8, letter A. 9, C. 10, J. 11, D. And 12, letter B. Let's finish Unit 11 with Lesson D. So pay attention at this picture. This is a hotel. Can you imagine the reasons why people stay at hotels? Because you are on vacation? Because you have a very early flight at an airport? Or sometimes because you're on a business trip? What about these questions? What do you enjoy about staying at hotels? Is there anything that you don't like about hotels? What? And when did you last stay at a hotel? Can you describe your experience? Tell me about all the things that you enjoyed at the hotel that you spent. What's the Wi-Fi password? Take a look at this conversation. You're going to organize the sequence and what words that we use in a conversation at a hotel. What does a hotel receptionist say to the guest? In this conversation builder, we're talking about a conversation arriving at a hotel. Listen to the hotel receptionist. Welcome to the hotel. Checking in or are you checking in? Could you spell your last name, please? Could I have your identification or can I have your ID? Could I have your credit card, please? Can you sign this form, please? Here's your room key. Here's your passport. Here's your credit card. And what does a hotel guest say? Pay attention to the answers. I reserved a room under, in the name of, I have a reservation under, or in the name of. Which floor did you say? You're going to order the sentences from numbers 1 to 9 to make a conversation here, right? Let's check the answers. So this is the conversation. Welcome to Park Road Hotel. Checking in? Yes, I reserved a room under the name of Lucia Espinosa. Thank you. Could I have your ID, please? Here you are. Here's my passport. Great. Can I have your credit card, please? Sure. Okay. Here's your room key. Room number 1203 on the 12th floor. Thanks. Which floor did you say? The 10th? No, the 12th floor. Attention to a video showing the conversation between the receptionist and the guest. Listen.
Good afternoon. This is the Lucky Penny Hotel. How can I help you?
Hello, I'd like to make a reservation, please. One standard room for 2 nights. Arriving on May 11th.
Sure. Could I have your name, please?
Ethan Moore. That's Moore.
Okay. Thank you. Did you say one room for 1 night?
No, one standard room for 2 nights.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay, you're booked for May 11th, checking out on May 13th. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you. Oh, do you have a pool?
Yes, we do. Our pool opens at 6 a.m. and closes at 9 p.m.
Great. And, is breakfast included?
No, I'm sorry. You have to pay for breakfast, but we serve it from 6:30 to 10:30 in our dining room.
Thank you very much. I'm with the social media group. Is there a discount for that?
Yes, there is. We have a great discount for the deluxe rooms.
Oh, that's okay. The standard room is fine.
That's great. Okay, you have a reservation for May 11th. See you then. Welcome to the Lucky Penny Hotel. Checking in.
Hello, yes. I booked a room under the name of Abernathy. Penny Abernathy?
Sorry, did you say Penny, like this hotel?
Yes, Penny.
Could you spell your surname, please?
Abernathy.
Thank you. Could I have your identification and credit card, please?
Here you are.
And could you sign this form, please, right here?
Do you have a pen?
Sure. And here is your credit card and passport.
That's with the discount, right?
Yes, you use the code?
Discount for you, May 11.
Okay, here's your room key. You have a deluxe room, room 704,
Great, thank you. And that's on...
the 7th floor.
Right, thanks.
Now you're going to watch the second part of the show and you're going to pay attention. Who enjoyed their stay at the hotel and who didn't enjoy it? Alright? Let's watch the video.
Oh, Here's a text from Penny. Plane got in early. See you in reception at 7 p.m. Whoa, her flight was early.
Welcome to the Lucky Penny Hotel. Checking in?
Yes, I have a reservation under the name of Moore.
Great. Can I have your credit card and ID, please?
Here you are.
Here's your room. You're on the 2nd floor.
Which floor did you say? The 7th?
No, room 207, the 2nd floor.
Ah, okay. And what's the Wi-Fi password?
The Wi-Fi code? It's your room number and your surname.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, how can I help you?
I would like to check out, please.
Did you enjoy your stay?
Yes, it was comfortable and my room was very nice. Thank you.
Here's your bill.
Thanks. Wow, $189 is a great rate for a deluxe room. Ethan, how was your room?
$189 for a standard room, too. And my Wi-Fi was awful, and the air conditioning didn't work very well. And the hotel didn't have any more rooms available, so I couldn't change rooms.
I had the same rate for the deluxe room because I used the discount code. Or you.
Welcome to the Lucky Penny Hotel.
So, who liked the hotel and who didn't? Penny enjoyed the hotel. And Ethan didn't think it was so comfortable because the air conditioning was terrible and the Wi-Fi the same way, right? Let's do the exercise about the video. Choose the correct options to complete the sentences. Number 1. Penny says she'd like to check in, check out, or change rooms. She said she wants to check in, right? Number 2. Penny's stay was horrible, comfortable, or lovely. She didn't have any problems, so her stay at the hotel was comfortable, right? Number 3. Ethan paid more than, less than, or the same as Penny. The answer was the same as Penny, but Ethan chose a standard room, right? Whereas Penny chose the luxe room, right? Number 4, the Wi-Fi in Ethan's room was awful, pretty good, or very good. The answer is it was awful. So Penny, his colleague, chose a deluxe room. She got a discount and she paid the same as a standard room, right? Let's practice what we learned about vacation activities. So we have letters A to letter H, right? And you're going to identify which vacation activity is from the box to each activity here from numbers 1 to 8, right? So let's do it. Check the answers. Number 1. Louise likes walking in different places like mountains and forests. Letter B. Go hiking. Number 2. Shelley and Phil like visiting cities, but they don't like staying at hotels. So letter A. They stay at an apartment. Number 3. Juan is very athletic and he loves the ocean. Letter C. Go surfing. 4. Home likes art and history. Letter G. Visit a museum or visit an art gallery. And number 5. Meshack doesn't like doing housework like cooking and making the bed. He likes staying at very comfortable places. Letter H. He stays at a hotel. Number 6. Linus loves visiting cities. He always wants to see a lot of different places and take lots of photos. Letter F. Go sightseeing. Number 7. Fabio has 3 new books to read. He loves hot weather, but he doesn't like the sea. Letter D. Relax by the pool. And number 8. Mana and her family love the country. They like being outside and they don't like hotels. So the answer is letter E, stay at a campsite. So these are some of the vacation activities people can do when they travel. Pay attention to the verbs that we may use when we talk about vacations. Take a look at these questions and complete with the verbs from the box. We have the verb visit, the verb go, you're gonna use 3 times, relax and stay. Let's do the exercise. Number 1. Do you prefer to the beach or to the mountains? Which verb here is the best one? The answer is go. Go to the beach. Go to the mountains, right? Number 2. Do you prefer to at a hotel or at a campsite? The answer here is stay. The verb stay at a hotel or stay at a campsite is used, right? Number 3, do you prefer to sightseeing or by the pool? Which verbs are used here? And then we have the answers. Go sightseeing and relax by the pool. Number 4, do you prefer to a castle or shopping for gifts? So which verbs can be used? Visit a castle and go shopping for gifts. Alright? Now let's read the text and check what is the connection between the two pictures. Let's check the answer for this question. Radio 7, the best road trip. In the early 1940s, Sullivan Richardson, a journalist from Detroit, got into his white Chrysler with 2 friends and drove 14,000 miles from North America to the very tip of South America. It's one of the greatest car adventures of all time. There were no roads for a lot of their trip. The 3 men drove over mountains and through deserts and jungles. At night, they camped next to the car. People said the trip was impossible, but after 9 months and 1 day, they finally reached their destination in Chile. It was the trip of a lifetime. Now, more than 75 years later, friends Jack Reid and Ben Davis are going to take a similar trip along the longest road in the world, the Pan American Highway, but in a comfortable camper. So, the answer for the question, what is the connection between the two pictures is that they're both of the same trip, but one of them happened 75 years ago, all right? And now, 75 years later, they're gonna do that again, but in a more comfortable way, right? Now, you're gonna listen to the interview and you're going to complete the sentences with the appropriate verb. Listen and complete.
Why did you decide to take this trip?
Well, we both love road trips, and a few years ago I read Sullivan Richards' book about the trip he took with his 2 friends. We knew that we wanted to do the same trip.
So, tell us about your plans.
We are going to use Sullivan's book as a guide, but there are going to be some differences. They started their trip in Detroit, but we are going to leave from Arizona.
And our trip is going to be shorter. We only have 8 weeks, so we're not going to travel all the way to Chile. Maybe another time.
Where are you going to stay?
We're going to camp, like Sullivan, but we're going to rent a camper van. So we're going to be a lot more comfortable, that's for sure.
What about sightseeing? Are you going to visit the same places as Sullivan?
Well, it was hard for Sullivan and his friends to do much sightseeing. We're there on vacation, so we want to visit places and do a lot of things. We're going to visit the Mayan pyramids in Mexico. We're going to climb a volcano in Guatemala, and we're going to go hiking in Costa Rica.
It's going to be amazing. We can't wait.
Let's check the answers. So here are the answers. Number 1, we're going to leave from Arizona. Number 2, we're not going to travel all the way to Chile. 3, where are you going to stay? 4. Are you going to visit the same places as Sullivan? 5. We're going to climb a volcano in Guatemala. And 6. We're going to go hiking in Costa Rica. Let's pay attention to this exercise. You're going to choose the correct options to complete the rules. We're talking about the grammar using be going to. So in number 1, we use be going to talk about the present or the future. And in number 2, after be going to, we use the ing or the basic form of the verb. Let's check the answers. So remember, we use be going to talk about the future. And in number 2, after going to, remember, we use the infinitive form of the verb, the basic form of the verb. So I say, I'm going to travel in January. So I'm going to travel, right? Expressing the future and using the verb in the infinitive, in the basic form of the verb, going to travel, right? Here we have the grammar, be going to, and the future time expressions. We use be going to plus the basic form of the verb to talk about future plans. Examples. Let's study the grammar about be going to and future time expressions. We use be going to plus the basic form of the verb to talk about future plans. Examples. I'm going to visit the beaches in Brazil. We're going to drive 14,000 miles. She's not going to go by bus, or she isn't going to go by bus. We're not going to travel all the way to Chile, or we aren't going to travel all the way to Chile. Where are you going to stay? Is your friend going to come with you? Look, we use future time expressions with be going to. Example, she's going to get a new job next year. Next year is the future time expression used with be going to. So remember, we use be going to express future plans, right? Let's check more examples. I'm gonna visit friends in Mexico this year. You can say I'm going to visit or I'm gonna visit. Gonna is the abbreviation form of going to, and it's more common to use that in the oral practice, right? Gonna is the abbreviation of going to, and it's more common to use in spoken language, speaking, right? Not written form. Another example, he's gonna have pizza for dinner tonight, or he's going to have pizza for dinner tonight. Remember, gonna is the abbreviation of going to, and it's more informal. We're not going to stay at a hotel, or we're not gonna stay at a hotel. What are you gonna do this summer? Or what are you going to do this summer? Let's list some more examples about it in affirmative, negative, and questions. Listen.
I'm going to relax by the pool. She's going to stay at a campsite. We're going to visit a museum. I'm not going to study this weekend. She's not going to stay at an apartment. She isn't going to stay at an apartment. My friends aren't going to visit me next year. Am I going to meet your friends later? Is she going to stay at a hostel? Are they going to eat out tonight? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, she is. No, she's not. No, she isn't. Yes, they are. No, they're not. No, they aren't.
Look, when the main verb is go, we do not normally use to go after going. Example, are you going surfing tomorrow? Camille is going abroad next year. Instead of saying, are you going to go surfing tomorrow? Or Camille is going to go abroad next year. But both sentences are correct. So you can say, are you going surfing or are you going to go surfing, right? And then we have the future time expressions. We often use the following future time expressions with be going to. Examples: this morning, this afternoon, this evening, this week, this weekend, this month, this year, this spring, this summer, this fall, this winter, this January. Tomorrow, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Next week, next month, next year, next spring, next summer, next fall, next winter, next January. And in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, in the winter, in January, right? Let's practice a little. In this exercise, you're going to write sentences using be going to. Let's do it. Check the answers. Number 1. Mark is going to play the guitar this evening. Number 2. My parents are going on vacation tomorrow, or my parents are going to go on vacation tomorrow. Both cases are correct. Number 3. My sister isn't going to run a marathon this summer. 4. I'm going to cook dinner tonight. 5. Are you going swimming this afternoon? Or are you going to go swimming this afternoon? And number 6. We aren't going to use our car this year. Let's practice about time expressions in the future. So exercise number 3. Today is Monday, March 10th. Write the time expressions for the days and times. Number 1. The morning of March 11th. The time expression is number 1. The answer is tomorrow morning. Number 2. From March 17th to March 23rd. Number 3. From March 10th to March 16th. 4. The evening of March 10th. 5. April. And 6. Saturday, March 15th and Sunday, March 16th. Let's check the answers. Number 2, next week. Today is March 10th, so March 17th is next week. Number 3, from March 10th to March 16th is this week. 4, the evening of March 10th, it is this evening. 5, April, next month. And 6, Saturday, March 15th and Sunday, March 16th is this weekend, right? Let's check about the pronunciation. When we have the sentence stress, you're gonna listen to the sentences and pay attention repeating.
1,
She's going to travel by train.
2,
We're not going to go to the beach.
3,
Are you going to stay with friends?
Let's practice a little more. Let's listen and repeat the sentences.
1,
I'm going to visit the castle.
2,
You're not going to come with me.
3,
We're going to travel by boat.
4,
He's not going to relax by the pool.
5,
Are you going to visit South America?
6,
Is she going to stay at a hotel?
Let's practice using going to. You're going to pay attention to the pictures and you're going to describe the activities that Sam is going to do. So the weekend starts tomorrow and Sam is going to be very busy. You're going to write sentences using the pictures here from numbers 1 to 10. Pay attention to the pictures. So follow the model. In number 1, we have he's going to get up at 6 o'clock. The same way you're going to write the sentences number 2 to number 10, right? Let's practice. So here we have some possible answers, right? Number 1, he's going to get up at 6 o'clock. 2, he's going to drink a cup of coffee. Or you can say he's going to have breakfast. Number 3, he's going to go swimming. 4, he's going to have breakfast. 5, he's going to go online. 6, he's going to go to a bookstore. 7, he's going to walk his dog. 8, he's going to meet his friends. 9, he's going to eat pizza. And number 10, he's going to see a movie. We're going to pay attention to the skill box. The ability is about checking information. And then we're going to complete the conversations from numbers 1 to 4 with a phrase to check the information, right? So pay attention to the skill. If you aren't sure if information is correct, you can check it with the person who said it in a formal way, neutral, or informal way. Formal. You're going on May 11th. Is that correct? He's over 18. Is that correct? In a neutral form. Did you say one room for one night? Did you say the 4th floor? And in the informal way, we can say, that's with the discount, right? Breakfast is at 7, right? So, let's pay attention and complete the conversation. Let's listen, check the information. Listen.
1,
I'd like to reserve a double room for 2 nights.
You want a double room, is that correct?
2,
I'd like a standard room for 3 nights, arriving on April 19th.
Did you say 2 nights from April 19th?
3,
The price for a deluxe room is $100 a night.
The price includes breakfast, right?
4,
There's a 20% discount for advanced reservations.
Did you say a 20% discount?
Now let's listen again and check the complete information here.
1,
I'd like to reserve a double room for 2 nights.
You want a double room, is that correct?
This is a formal way.
2,
I'd like a standard room for 3 nights, arriving on April 19th.
Did you say 2 nights from April 19th?
Confirming the information, right?
3,
The price for a deluxe room is $100 a night.
The price includes breakfast, right?
This is informal.
4,
There's a 20% discount for advanced reservations.
Did you say a 20% discount?
And this is the neutral form to check information, right? So here is the diagram about a conversation between a receptionist and the guest. Greet the guest, ask if he or she is checking in. Then the guest gives the details of your reservation. The receptionist asks the guest for his or her documents, and the guest gives the documents to the receptionist. Right after, the receptionist gives the guest his or her room key and say what floor. The guest takes the key, asks about breakfast, Wi-Fi, and anything else that you want to know. After that, the receptionist gives the information and the guest thanks the receptionist. So, this is it. Thank you for your participation and your attention, right? See you in the next video class.